Facebook. Facebook is an American online social media and social networking service owned by Facebook Incorporation. Facebook, founded in 2004 by Mark Zuckerberg with fellow Harvard College student and roommates Eduardo Saverin, Andrew McCallum, Dustin Moskovitz, and Chris Hughes. Its name comes from the Facebook directories often given to American university students. Membership was initially limited to Harvard students, gradually expanding to other North American universities, and since 2006, anyone over 13 years old. As of 2020, Facebook claimed 2008 billion monthly active users and ranked 7th in global internet use. It was the most downloaded mobile app of the 2010s. Facebook can be accessed from devices with internet connectivity, such as personal computers, tablets, and smartphones. After registering, users can create a profile revealing information about themselves. They can post text, photos, and multimedia which are shared with any other users who have agreed to be their friends or with different privacy settings publicly. Users can also communicate directly with each other with Facebook Messenger, join common interest groups, and receive notifications on the activities of their Facebook friends and page they follow. The subjects of numerous controversies, Facebook has often been criticized over issues such as user privacy, political manipulation, mass surveillance, psychological effects such as addiction and low self esteem, and content such as fake news, conspiracy theories, copyright infringements, and hate speech. Commenters have accused Facebook of willingly facilitating the spread of such content, as well as exaggerating its number of users of appeal to advertise. Zuckerberg built a website called FaceMatch in 2003 while attending Harvard University. The site was comparable to Hot or Not and used photos compiled from the online Facebooks of 9 houses, placing two next to each other at the time and asking users to choose the hotter person. FaceMatch attached 450 visitors and 22,000 photo views in its first 4 hours. The site was sent to several campus group listservs but was shut down a few days later by Harvard administration. Zuckerberg faced expulsions and was charged with breaching security, violating copyrights, and violating individual privacy. Ultimately, the charges were dropped. Zuckerberg expanded on this project that semester by creating a social study stole ahead of an art history final exam. He uploaded all art images to a website, each of which was accompanied by a comment section, then shared the site with his classmate. A Facebook is a student directory featuring photos and personal information. In 2003, Harvard had only a paper version, along with private online directories. Zuckerberg told the Harvard Crimson, "Everyone's been talking a lot about universal Facebook within Harvard. I think it's kind of silly that it would take the university a couple of years to get around to it. I can do it better than they can, and I can do it in a week. In January 2004, Zuckerberg coded a new website known as the Facebook, inspired by a Crimson editorial about Christmas starting. It is clear that the technology needed to create a centralized websites is really available. The benefits are many. Zuckerberg met with Harvard student Eduardo Saverin, and each of them agreed to invest 1000 million in the site. On February 4, 2004, Zuckerberg launched the Facebook, originally located at the facebook.com. 6 days after the site launched, Harvard's seniors Cameron Winklevoss, Taylor Winklevoss, and David Narendra accused Zuckerberg of intentionally misleading them into believing that he would help them build a social network called HarvardConnection.com. They claimed that he was instead using their idea to build a competing product. The three complaints to the Crimson, and the newspaper began an investigation. They later sued Zuckerberg, sitting in 2008 for 1.2 million share. Membership was initially restricted to students of Harvard College. Within a month, more than half the undergraduate had registered. Moscowitz, Andrew McCallum, and Chris Hughes joined Zuckerberg to help manage the growth of their website. In March 2004, Facebook expanded through Columbia, Stanford, and Yale. It then became available to our Ivy League colleges, Boston University, NYU, MIT, and successively most universities in the United States and Canada. In mid 2004, Napster co-founder and entrepreneur Sean Parker and informal advisor to Zuckerberg became company president. In June 2004, the company moved to the Palo Alto, California. It received its first investment later that month from PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel in 2005. The company dropped from the name after purchasing the domain name facebook.com. $2 lakh. The domain had belonged about Face Corporation. In May 2005, Accel Partners invested 12.7 billion in Facebook, and Jim Berry added $1 million of his own money. A high school version of the site launched in September 2005. Eligibility expanded to include employees of several companies including Apple Incorporation and Microsoft. 2006 to 2012, Public Access, Microsoft Alliance, and Rapid Growth. In March 2006, Facebook hired its first interns, Julio Juhu. After a month, Juhu was hired a full-time engineer. On September 26, 2006, Facebook offers to everyone at least 13 years old with a valid by late 2007. Facebook had 1 lakh phase on which companies promoted themselves. Organization phase began rolling out in May 2009. On October 24, 2007, Microsoft announced that it had purchased at 1.6% share of Facebook for $240 million, giving Facebook a total implied value around $15. Microsoft purchases included rights to place international advertisement. In May 2007, at the first Facebook's Developers Conference, Facebook announced the launch of the Facebook Developer Platform, providing framework software developed to create applications that interact with core Facebook feature. By the second annual Developers Conference, July 2003, July 23rd July 2008, the number of the applications of the platform had grown of 33,000 and of the number of the registered developers had exceeded 4 lakh. In October 2008, Facebook announced that its international headquarters would location in Darwin Island. In September 2009, Facebook said it had achieved positive cash flow for the first time. And January 2009, Compete.com study ranked Facebook the most used social networking service by worldwide monthly active users. China blocked Facebook in 2009 following the on Urix. The company announced 500 million users in July 2010. Half of the site's membership use Facebook daily for any average of 34 minutes, while 150 million users access the site from mobile device. A company representative calls the milestones a quiet revolution. In October 2010, groups are introduced. In November 2010, based on Second Market Incorporation exchange for private held company shares, Facebook's value was $41 billion. The company had slightly surpassed eBay to become their third largest American web company after Google and Amazon.com. On November 15, 2010, Facebook announced it had acquired the domain name FB.com from the American Farm Bureau Federation for an undisclosed amount. On January 11, 2011, the Farm Bureau disclosed $8.5 million in domain sales income, making the acquisition of Facebook.com of the 10 highest domain sales in history. In February 2011, Facebook announced plans to move headquarters to the former Sun Microsystems campus in Menlo Park, California. In March 2011, it was reported that Facebook was removing about 20,000 profiles daily for violations such as spam, graphic contents, and underage use as parts of its efforts to boost cybersecurity. Statistics showed that Facebook researched only trillion page views in the month on June 2001, making it the most visited website tracked by DoubleClick. According to a Nielsen study, Facebook had in 2001 become the second most accessed website in the US behind 2012 to 2003 lawsuits and 1 billion users. In March 2012, Facebook announced App Center's store selling application that operation via the website. The store was to be available on iPhone, Android device, and for mobile website users. Facebook initial public offering came on May 17, 2012 at a sharing prices of 38 US dollar. The company was valued at $104 billion, the largest valuations to that date. The IPO raised $16 billion, the third largest in US history after Visa Incorporation's 2008 at A and the earliest in 2000, based on its 2012 incomes of $5 billion. Facebook joins the Fortune 500 list for the 5 times its May's 2013, ranks 262. This year set the first day records for trading volume of an IPO. The IPO was controversial given to immediate price decline that followed, and so was the subject of lawsuits. While SEC and FINRA boards launched investigation, Zuckerberg announced at the start of October 2012 that Facebook had 1 billion monthly active users, including 6,000 million mobile users and 219 billion photos uploads and 140 billion brands connections. 2013 to 2014. On January 15, 2013, Facebook announced Facebook Graph Search, which provided users with precise answers rather than a links to an answer by share with the users. On June 12, Facebook announced that was introducing hashtags is to help users follow trending discussions of search what others talking about on the topics. And Meteo countries, California becomes the top oil earnings country in the country after the fourth quarter 2012 because of Facebook. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that the average salary was 107% higher than the previous years at billionaires, more than 15% higher than the next highest countries. New York County, better known Manhattan, at range years. Facebook joined Alliance for Affordable Internet in October at its launch. The A4A1 is the coaliting of public and private organizations that include Google, Intel, and Microsoft, led by Sir Tim Berners-Lee. The A4A1 seeks to make internet access more affordable through ease access in the developing world. The company celebrated its 10th anniversary during the week of February 3, 2004. In January 2014, over 1 billion users connected by a mobile device. As of June, mobile accounted for 62 of advertising revenue, increasing of 21% of the previous years. By September, Facebook's market capitalization had exceeded $200 billion. Zuckerberg participated in session at the Tsinghua University in Beijing, China on October 2023, where he attempted to converse in Mandarin. Zuckerberg hosted visiting Chinese politician Wei, known as the Internet Caesar, of his influence in China online policy on December 8. As of 2015, Facebook algorithm was revised in the attempt to filter out false or misleading content such as fake news stories and hoax. It relied on users who flag a story accordingly. Facebook maintained that satirical content should not be intercepted. The algorithm was accused of maintaining a filter bubble where materials the users কি ব্যাপার চলে গেছে নাকি